joined this business in April of 2015. And I joined under Kortney Bohr. I had followed her on social media for over a year, you guys. Like, I didn't comment on anything. I didn't like any of her posts, nothing. But back then, I only followed like a couple hundred people. And so she posted like 10 times a day. And so her posts were always on my timeline. And I'm like, there's no way this 19-year-old girl is making this much money. Like, there's just no way. So I actually unfollowed her because that's like all I was seeing was her posts. And then she went on a following spree and followed me again. And I was like, well, she's cute. Like, I'll follow her, whatever. So I followed her back again. But it wasn't until I needed a lifestyle change that I was interested in the extra income. And I thought, well, maybe I could do this. Like, maybe I could earn an extra income. Ryan's dad had just passed away super suddenly from a brain aneurysm at 42. Me and Ryan were living about 2.5 hours away from each other. And I was going to Oklahoma State 18 hours. I was planning my wedding, and I was working about 50 hours a week. So things were just so busy. But I was like, if only I could get that extra $500 a month, that would compensate for the overtime I was working. So I messaged Kortney. Actually, I commented on one of her posts, and she sent me all the info, and I signed up immediately. And I had gotten really good results with the hair, skin, and nails before I'd ever joined. And so those are the results like that I started with. So that's why like I always like stress how important it is to get your own results and share them, because I already had my own results. And so that's what I like immediately went with, was hair, skin, and nails. And I signed up 22 loyal customers my first week. And I went ruby in like, I think it was like 2 weeks, emerald in 3, and then diamond in my first 30 days. And then double diamond in 2 months, triple diamond in 3 months, and presidential diamond in 4 months. And I had earned $100,000 in bonuses just in those 4 months. It was just so crazy. Like my life changed so quickly. And then November, I think right before the It Works cruise, the first ever It Works cruise, I found out I was a top 150 income earner just within my first like 6 months of the business. And then my 11 months, I went ambassador. So that was March of 2016. And then in April, I found out I was pregnant with Riker. And I had been home for my full-time job since September of 2015. So 5 months after joining, I came home and went full-time. Then I had Riker in December of 2016. And now I'm just a full-time work-from-home mom. I get to do this full-time. I get to be home with Riker every single day. He just turned 20 months yesterday. And so the whole 20 months, I've gotten to be here for everything. I haven't had to miss out on anything. But I really love it, too, because, I guess, you start as a newbie, and then you don't realize, like, how this business is going to always be here for you. Like, I love it because, like, no matter what aspect of your life you're in, this business works for you. Like, I joined as a full-time college student. I was working full-time. I was so busy. I was planning a wedding. And then now I'm a wife. Now I'm a mom. Like, my life is totally different now than it was when I first joined. But this business has given me so much more, and like so many options. And I get to be with Riker full time. I get to give him everything he deserves. And we get to, plan for our second baby, and like without me having to worry about work and all that stuff. So that's what this business has done for me just in the last 3.5 years.
I die every time you tell how your timeline of promotions. Every time.
I think we talk about it like once a week.
Probably. Because I text you about it. I'm like, did you really do that?
You're like,
Yeah. So I asked in our chat like what questions they had. So I'm just going to kind of go down that. So I have, the first question is, how do you keep up your motivation when you feel like you've kind of hit a wall? They've had a lot of questions about that. And yeah, that's the first one.
Sometimes I think, when you hit a wall, like, I think the first thing you have to do is figure out why you're hitting that wall. Like, what is making you not feel motivated? Why are you not wanting to work your business? Like, are you comparing yourself? Like, are you feeling like you're not doing enough? Because you see, like, sometimes you get in that comparison game. Like, someone's business is exploding, so then you feel not so awesome about your business, which makes you kind of not want to work your business, because it's kind of like, well, she's doing all this stuff, and you kind of makes you feel inferior, kind of. And then also, you have to think about, like, are you letting your why become your excuse? Like, I joined for totally different reasons than why I've kept going. So, like when Ryan's dad passed away and I wanted to spend more time with him and his family, I needed the extra income. That's why I joined. But now I can't imagine having to send Riker to daycare. I can't imagine having to go back to corporate America and like work for someone else's dreams. Like, I could never go back to corporate America after doing this full time. So you have to think about, why are you having this block? Like, why are you not motivated? Like, if money doesn't motivate you and like the extra income doesn't motivate you, then you need to really dig deep and figure out your why. because your why is what's going to drive you every single day. And if you don't have a why, you're not gonna feel motivated. Like, your why should make you want to jump out of bed every single day. And I'm a very red personality, so like, money drives me. Like, when I was promoting so fast, once I saw that income coming in, I'm like, I felt like literally I was on fire. These raises were never going to stop coming. Like, my paychecks were just going to continuously grow. I was unstoppable. Like, and your business is fun when you feel that way. But then you have to remember that business is going to fluctuate. Like, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. You know, I've had people quit. I've had people leave. I've had triple diamonds leave. I've had double diamonds leave, join other companies. People quit for no reason. You know, people that I built stop working. Like, I've had everything happen. Like, I was in the hospital for 12 days after having Riker, an emergency C-section. Like, I could have died. Like, I could have stopped working then, and I signed the most distributors that year in the month, like, when I had Riker sitting in the hospital. Like, I signed the most distributors that month. You literally just have to figure out first why you're feeling that way, and then get over it. Like, get out of your own head, because literally money, like the money and the income and the freedom and being debt free should be enough to motivate you every single day. Like, who doesn't want to be debt free? Who doesn't want to work for their future? Like, what if you could go out and buy whatever you wanted? What if you could just decide tomorrow that you wanted to go to Alaska, go to New York, go to France? Like, just get up and go do it, like, without any hesitations. Like, that should motivate you guys. And if it doesn't, I don't know why it doesn't motivate you. But you have to find a why. Like, you have to be so excited. And like, some people, like me and Shay, have talked about it before too. And I think I put it in my post last night too. Like, me and Shay have had these conversations, you know, like, I've been in this business a lot longer than Shay. She's a lot younger than me too. And when you start seeing the income and then you kind of see a decline, sometimes, like I said, business is going to fluctuate. Your paychecks will be here, then sometimes they're going to be here, and then sometimes they might go down here, and then they're going to go way back up. It's just business. It's just how business is. There's different seasons of business, you know, presidential elections, the economy, like, so many different factors go into business and sales. Like, it's inevitable. So you have to figure out, like, how you're going to overcome those things, and don't just automatically quit and give up on the sign of, like, when things get tough. Like, you have to work through those things. And Shay, you know, we've talked about sometimes, like, how excited she was about her business, how excited she is about her leaders, you know, what she sees with this business. And then we've also had those conversations where she's fearful, like, oh my gosh, my checks have dropped. You know, what do I do? Okay, your check dropped 1 month. It's going to go right back up. So work for those months. Because if she would have quit, like, when her paychecks went from $2,000 to $500, she wouldn't make $5,000 in 1 month, you guys. Like, I'm pretty sure that $5,000 paycheck was way more rewarding and so exciting, and, like, compared to the fear she felt when her paycheck was $500. Like, you just have to know that business is going to fluctuate. You have to figure out your why, and you have to motivate yourself. You cannot expect someone to motivate you. I can inspire you, but I can't motivate you. Shay cannot motivate you. She might get on your butt and tell you to work, but until you find a reason to get up every single day, you're not going to feel inspired every single day. But those days that you feel uninspired and those days you feel like you don't want to work, those are the days you just have to push through it. And Mike always, like, something I always think about too is Mike is always talking about, when you feel that way, get to an event, call Shay, get on a Zoom, get on a training, go listen to a YouTube video, get plugged in. Because whenever you're feeling that way, as soon as you get on a training, as soon as you get to an event, as soon as you get a wrap on somebody, you're going to get excited. And so you have to stay plugged into those family calls, to the corporate calls, to the Monday night calls, like our Tuesday night trainings. Staying plugged in and being surrounded by people that are inspired and that are excited will inspire and motivate you, but you have to stay plugged in.
And that kind of flows into the other question, is just, like, so many people are obviously dealing with, like, how do you motivate your team? And you kind of touched on it. It's just like, you can't motivate the unmotivated and stuff like that.
Something my parents have always said, and my parents always have these, like, funny quotes, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can lead them, you can push them, you can lead from the front, you can enroll, but until they figure out why they want this, until they decide for themselves that they need this and that this is for them and that they need this business, or they don't want to leave their kids, or they don't want to send their kids to daycare, or they don't want to take out student loans, or they want to be able to go to dinner when they want to, just put a full tank of gas in their car. Until they want those things for themselves and they appreciate themselves enough to want those things for themselves, you cannot, like I said, you can inspire them, but you can only motivate them so much. Like, you're a leader. You're not a boss. You're not a dictator. Our jobs are not to boss you around. Our jobs are to inspire you and lead you and show you what is possible with this business. And sometimes it feels like we're bossing you around because we want it so bad for you guys. And I've had a hard time, like, over 3.5 years, for a long time, understanding why. Like, I drove myself insane. Like, why does she not want this? Why does it, like, you see so much potential in somebody, but why do they not want this? Why are they not working? Why are they not enrolling LCs? Why do they not want this as bad as I do? And you just have to remember, everybody thinks differently. Everybody's struggling with different things. Everybody is going through something. And sometimes everybody has a different personality. Like, money drives me. Like, I have a red personality. Like, I get hungry. Like, I'm just going to tell you guys, like, my first paycheck with It Works, not counting weekly bonuses, my very first commissions check was $2,200. When I saw that check, like, I knew this business would work for me, but, like, I didn't know this business would work for me like that. And so even Ryan, when I got that first paycheck, and I'm a broke college student, he's like, oh, like, this is going to work. Like, oh my God. And then my second month, it was over $8,000. And then my third month, it was over $14,000. And then my fourth month, after going Presidential Diamond, 4 months into this business, my check was over $25,000, not counting weekly bonuses. I don't know about y'all, but I did not go diamond in 30 days and think, oh, I can just live off this $2,000 for the rest of my life. Like, this $2,000, well, I mean, it's okay. I mean, it may not be enough, but I mean, it'll be okay. Like, I could just stay here. No, when I got that $2,000 paycheck, I'm like, what if I could get $5,000? What if I could get $8,000? Like, what does double diamond make? And I got that double diamond chart out. And I told Ashley, okay, I have this many boxes to fill, but by God, I'm going double diamond. I want that paycheck and that $15,000 bonus. I went double diamond. My check was $8,000. Never in a million years did I think I'd make it $8,000 the entire time I was with this company, much less as my commissions check my second month. But but it made me hungrier. I'm like, if I can get $8,000, what if I could get $12,000? Like what if, like, it opened up all these possibilities. Like, it made me want more, not be like, oh, that's okay. Like, I'll just stay here, or no, that's fine. I think I'll settle with $8,000. Like, I don't want any more than that. Like, when I got 8,000, I'm like, I could get 20, I could get 30, like, I could get 40. Like, I was hungry and I wanted more. So, like, whenever you guys are reaching these ranks and you're getting these paychecks and you're seeing some momentum in your business, don't lose it, because you're crazy if you don't stay hungry, if you don't want more. And your momentum, if you lose it, is really hard to get back. But us as leaders, we can only do so much to help you guys. But the best thing you can do for your team is lead from the front, because I know sometimes, like, you're going to feel not jealous. You're not going to feel jealous, but you're going to feel like someone's business is taking off faster than yours, or someone's doing this, or someone's doing that. I literally stopped following people that made me feel inferior, people that made me feel like my business wasn't taking off, or that my business was at a standstill. Because I'm like, you know what? I went Presidential Diamond in 4 months. Like, I did that. Like, not them. Like, I did it. And so be proud of your accomplishments. Like Denise Walsh, she went ambassador in 5 years. She went diamond in 1 year, double diamond in another year 2, triple in year 3, prez in year 4, and ambassador in year 5. And I did it in less than a year. But people are like, sometimes they say, you know, how inspiring it was that I did it so fast. But I'm like, you know what inspires me is the fact that it took her 5 years to go ambassador diamond, and she didn't quit. She didn't give up. She literally worked her butt off and worked her business consistently every single day and grew at a steady pace all the time. And 5 years was an investment for her. Like, she did it in a slower time frame, but we both reached ambassador diamond. It doesn't matter how fast you get there. It just matters that you get there. And so corporate America within 5 years is never going to pay you $30,000, $40,000 a month. Like, they're just not going to, unless you're a rocket scientist or a doctor, or, I mean, some of you may be doctors, I don't know. But you just have to remember that, like, you can only do so much for your team. You have to work your business every single day. Like, I've always said, like, when I'm working on a promotion, like, I have my charts and I have, you know, the boxes filled. I'm not relying on my entire team to do the work for me. if I have to enroll those LCs myself, by God, I'm going to do it. But I know at the end of the month, it wasn't because I didn't work. It wasn't because I slacked off. I made excuses. Like, if I made it to the end of the month, I want to know, even if I didn't reach my goal, I wanted to know that I did everything I could to make it happen. Not, I should have done this, or I should have done that, or, oh, I'll get it next time, or if I don't get it this month, I'll get it in a couple of months. Like, I had so much momentum that I didn't want to lose it. So I, like, held on to it for as long as I could. And, you know, now I've been in 3.5 years, and I got my business is still growing, and it's still, like, people come in and people come out. But now it's fun because, like, once I reached ambassador, I get to choose who I work with. You know, I get to choose the people that I spend my time on. I don't have to work with people that are expecting me to do the work for them. I don't have to work with people that aren't appreciative of the work and the effort that I put into them. I get to work with the people that inspire me. Like, I get to work with the people that are running. I get to work with the people that are putting in the effort. So that's the best thing you can do, is work so you can advance to ambassador so that you can choose who you work with. That's the best thing, is work till you get to ambassador, whether it takes you 5 years, 10 years, whatever. Corporate America is never going to pay you 30 or 40 plus $1,000 a month. Like, they're just not going to.
I love that. And I always use, like, the example of when I moved into school and my team completely quit, and there were, like, maybe a couple people working on it. I spent so much time spinning my wheels trying to figure out what I was doing wrong and trying to figure out, like, how I could motivate the people on my team. And the crazy thing is nobody that was on my team at that point was even on my triple chart to, like, that was a main promoting box.
Isn't that cool? Because, like, I promoted to Ambassador Diamond a little over 2 years ago, and I have 2 leaders that are still with me that were on my ambassador chart. Like, and an ambassador chart has tons of diamonds, tons of triples, tons of, you know, VIPs, and I have 2 that are still with me, but yet I still have diamond and double diamond leaders, but they're new leaders. They're people that have come up in the last 2 years. They weren't with me when I went ambassador, and I thought those people were going to be with me forever. And some of them have left, some of them have joined other companies. And I went through that season too. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why are they leaving me? Like, I was taking everything personal rather than treating it like a business. Like, it is good to have those relationships and have those friendships and stuff. But, like, you also have to remember at the end of the day, it's a business and people are going to make business decisions. And so I had to stop thinking it was me, and I had to start thinking this is a business. So when someone quits a job, what do? They hire someone else. So if someone quits, if I have a diamond quit, if I have a ruby quit, if I have an emerald quit, whatever, I'm going to bring someone else in to fill that position, and that's who I'm going to work on. I'm not focusing on anybody that's quitting, leaving, and doesn't want this. Like, I'm going to be focusing on the people that are working, the people that are running, because there's something so rejuvenating about working with people that want it as bad as you do. And so it feels way more rewarding when you get those text messages of, like, your team's so excited about their paychecks, about their bonuses, about their raises, and they're crying and they're so pumped. Like, Shay's not on my team, she's not on my downline, but she's like my baby. Like, I get so excited. I'm like, what was your check? Like, you can't check it till you FaceTime me. Like, I get so excited because I know what this business has done for me. And so you have to love on your team. You have to be excited for them. You have to lead them, but you have to know that this business isn't just about you. Like, take you out of the equation, because you're in this business to change lives. You're in this business to help people. So help the people that want your help. Help the people that need your help. Stop chasing after people that don't want it, and stop trying to convince them that what this can do for them, if that makes sense. Run with your runners, and you're going to feel just so good about your business, because the people that really want this, you're not going to have to motivate them. You're not going to have to text them every single day. They're going to be like, what do I need to do to promote? Like, every time I was promoting, I had my chart out. I'm like, Ashley, Kortney, like, what do I need to do? How many distributors do I need? I need to understand this chart. How many LCs do you think I need to enroll? Where should I place this loyal customer? Where should I do this? Where should I do that? Like, I was so driven and so motivated. No one ever had to question whether or not I was working. And that was my biggest thing, is I worked my business every single day for me, and I didn't want people having to question whether or not I was working.
Yes, I love that.
I can't sometimes, so, like, just.
It's okay. You give so much good information anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, it's when you find those people that are ready to work this business with you. And I have people ask me all the time, like, okay, well, none of my team is working, and I have the Ruby chart, and I'm charted, but, like, no one's working. Like, use that to motivate you to find so many new people that are ready to do this, like just at the same pace and the rate as you are, because it's so fulfilling and so much more worth it when you do find those people that are ready to just take off with you. So that's just the biggest advice we have, is if there's people on your chart that aren't working, find new ones.
Yes, and you'll be surprised too, like the people that are just on your chart as 400 boxes or executives and stuff that actually want this more than your diamonds and your doubles and people that are going for these like bigger promotions. There's people probably down at, like I said, at your 100 boxes that are ranked as distributors that want this more than they do, and work with them. Like, it might take you a little bit longer, but they're going to be your lifers. They're going to be the ones that stick with you through the long haul. Like some of my like diamonds and above now are people that I brought up after I had these other people quit that were, you know, distributors or executives or people I did that, like these leaders had brought them in. So I didn't really know them very well, but I brought them up, you know, like, okay, they quit, I'm bringing someone else up. Like, I want to work with people that want this. Like, and also too, something I've always done when I'm working for a promotion or when I was promoting so fast, I text all of my leaders, like people that I had in promoting positions, double, triple, diamond, like whatever. And I'm like, hey girl, like I'm going, say triple diamond. I'm going triple diamond this month. You're on my chart as a double. I need to know right now if you want to do this with me. We'll work together. You know, we'll have the momentum. I'll help you. But you need to tell me now if you don't want this or I'm going to use someone else. No one wants to be left out. Like, no one wants you to run off without them. So normally they're going to be like, okay, what do I need to do? And actions speak way louder than words. You can say you want this. You can say what the income will do for you. You can say, oh, I could get, you know, I could work less hours, or I could get a new car. I could get a new apartment. I could buy a new house. I could go on vacation. Like, you can say you want and can do all of these things, but are you going to do it? like, your actions are going to speak way louder than words. Like, your actions have to meet your words. Like, your actions have to meet what you really want, because if you're not putting in the work, you're not putting in the action every day, you're not going to get the results. So you have to figure out how bad you truly want it. Like, I do not want to ever have to send Riker to daycare. I do not. My biggest fear, like when I joined, like I said, it was totally different whys. Like, I was in college, I'd blow money. Like, me and Ryan were like having fun. We traveled 8 or 9 times a year. Like, we did all kinds of stuff. And then now I'm a mom. And now my biggest fear is Riker ever having to come to me and say, Mom, can I have this? Or Mom, can we do that? And me having to say, well, let's wait till the next paycheck. Or no, we can't afford that right now. No, like, I never want to have to do that to my child. And no, I'm not saying that he's going to be spoiled, but like, I'm saying, like, if it's something he needs or something he truly wants to do, I never want to have to tell him no because of my financial situation. So that's what drives me every single day, is the fact that that's something that I fear ever having to do. So I wake up every day and work my business like I'm going to have to send him to daycare. And that's what you should do. You should work, if you're in college and you're paying cash for school, you should work every single day like you're going to have to take out $50,000 in loans. You should work every single day like you're going to have to tell your child, you know, he can't have, or you can't feed your child this week. Like, how would you feel if you couldn't feed your child that week because you couldn't go buy groceries? Like, you have to find something that's going to almost bring you to tears and that's going to push you every day if you haven't found something that motivates you.
Yes, love that. Okay, so what are your tips? Like, basically, what do you do every day? And when it comes to enrolling customers and distributors, like, what do you think it is that helps you seal the deal with them?
Honestly, guys, being consistent. Like, your doors have to be open every single day. I may not post on my like Instagram or Facebook every single day, but I'm on my stories, I post like 10 times a day. But you have to be consistent. Like, well, think of it this way. Like, if you have a boutique or you have a storefront, you know, and if your doors are shut and you're closed, you're not going to get business that day. You know, I see so many like boutiques or like, say, hairdressers. They're closed on Mondays. And coming off the weekend, a lot of people want to shop on. For some reason, I like to shop on Mondays. But if their doors are closed, they don't get business. And or I think about like sometimes like I'm not going to use Chick-fil-A because I know why they're closed on Sundays. But some of my favorite restaurants, they'll be closed on like Friday night or Saturday night, and that's going to be their biggest day because weekends are so busy. So I'm like, why would you be closed on your busiest day of the week? Like, that's when I want that food. And like, well, they didn't get my business. If you are not being consistent and you are not posting and you are not working and you're not talking to people every single day, they're going to find another distributor. They're going to find someone else because people want our products. So if you're not putting yourself out there, they're going to find someone else that's offering it to them. Because if you're not, I promise someone else that's hungrier than you will be. And I never want someone to either join or order because I didn't follow up with them or they didn't know I was working my business. Like I do never want someone to come to my page and have to say, is she still selling It Works? Is she still an It Works distributor? Like, people should never have to wonder if you're with It Works. They should know, like, you should brand yourself so that when people think of It Works, they think of you. I've been doing this for 3.5 years, and I still have people from my hometown or people that I've known my entire life that have never ordered from me that are just now ordering. It took them 3.5 years, but by God, they've seen my stuff enough that they're ordering. But you have to be consistent. So I work my business a little bit different now than I did when I first joined, but I have a child. And so I try to be really intentional, like with my time. And so, because I try really hard to, like when me and Racker are doing stuff or like we go to the park or we, breakfast and like mornings like are our thing. So like if I'm doing certain things that I know me and him enjoy, I'm not on my phone. So I usually wake up at 5:45, 5:50. We do a 6 a.m. power hour, me and Kristen and some of our team. And we're usually on till like 7:30 or 8. Racker usually wakes up about 8:30, but during this power hour, I set up my Captivate to follow, at least usually 300 or 400 people that day. So I set it up to follow, so it's already going to be following for me all day. And then usually one day of the week, I'll set it to like unfollow people that like aren't following me back and stuff. It's usually like one day a week. But then like during that hour, I had to set up Captivate. I post at least 2 or 3 times to my story, and then I usually make a post on my page, and then I usually message 15 to 20 people. And then I have 2 Instagrams just because I've almost maxed out the people that I can follow on my main Instagram. That's the only reason I have 2 Instagrams. I don't recommend having 2 Instagrams if you're pretty new or like you don't have a ton of followers on your main one. I have like 15,000 on my main one, but I'm following like 7,300 people, and you can only follow 7,500. So I created a second one so that I could follow more people, so more people would be seeing my posts. So I post to both of those, and then I try to follow up with people that I talked to the day before. So if I talk to people, say today, okay, so say I talked to somebody like people yesterday, and the conversation went dead, or they didn't order, or something like that, I follow up with them that day. So I try to keep track. So like it's only been 24 hours since I talked to them. Then me and Racker usually get up. We have our breakfast. It's like our time. That's usually till like 10, 10:30. I'm a very like time frame person. Like I usually have my like day scheduled, but that's kind of our morning, like in our time. We usually turn on cartoons and watch TV. I have my coffee, and then then we might go to lunch. We might go shopping. We might go do something. But usually he naps around 12 or 1, and I do another power hour where I try to like pick up my house or do something. But during that hour, I message more people. I usually post again to my story, usually just like take those steps. And then I do another power hour in the evenings. We do with our team. So either after our team trainings, after the corporate calls, all that stuff, we'll usually get on at like 8:30 or 9, and then we work till like 10:30 or 11. So I wake up 2.5 hours before Riker wakes up, and then I go to bed about 2 hours after Riker goes to bed. So honestly, you have to figure out your schedule. I know some of you probably still work. I know a lot of you, sometimes some of you might be moms or whatever. You have to figure out what your day is like and make sure you are putting time into your business. Like think how hard you work for corporate America and how hard you work for your boss and how you want to do a good job and the amount of time every week that you're putting into building their business. And then make sure you're taking the time to build your brand. Make sure you're taking time to build your business, because eventually, like, the goal should be like, well, not everybody wants to leave corporate America, but eventually your goal should be, making enough money for yourself that if you wanted to leave your full-time job, you could. Like, some people don't. I know a lot of people that are presidential diamonds, ambassador diamonds, that still work because they love their job or they love that routine of going to work and stuff. But the deal is you should want the option. You should want to be able to leave if you wanted to. So you just figure out your schedule, figure out your time, and then make sure you're working. I try to do at least 3 hours of uninterrupted business every single day. And when I'm really intentional with my time and really intentional with like tasks and getting stuff done, my results are so much better than rather just like sporadic, like all day, like, oh, I'll post here, oh, I'll send a message here, oh, I'll post there. Like if I get like that, like, say in the morning power hour, like I get 25 messages sent out, then usually people are responding to me. And then until I start the next power hour, I have like genuine conversations going. Like people are responding. So I take the time to talk to those people before I send out more messages, if that makes sense. Like it kind of just keeps me from getting overwhelmed and like losing track of everybody. But that's kind of like what works for me with like business wise. And then also too, like people have to earn my time. Like if they're on my team, if they are, even people on Kortney's team, like me and her do a lot of our stuff together. So like her team, like Shay's team, like Carly's team, like they're like my team too. Like I just take them like they're mine. But like I make people earn my time. Like I pay attention to the people that are working, the people that are asking questions, the people that are doing the things that I'm telling them to do. And they have to earn my time. So if someone's texts me and says, where do I look up commissions? How much is ThermaFit? How much are the wraps? What do the wraps do? If it's something they can find on their eSuite, or if it's something they can look up just as easy as I can look it up, unless they're brand new, I probably don't text them back. They can either go to the team page or they can go to the chat. Just don't fill your day with, don't fill your day with like non-income producing activities. Like if it's not like, usually I learn things better if I just go look it up. If I look it up myself, I'll know where it's at the next time. So you have to teach your team to be a little bit self-efficient so that they can figure things out on their own without coming to you and like you being their crutch every time they're too lazy to look up something. You know, because usually everything you need to know is in our eSuite, it's in our document library, it's in Product Coach, and you can look it up just as easy as we can look it up. But so you just have to make sure like be efficient, do income producing activities. And then also I start my day every single morning with some kind of self-development. So whether a podcast, I really like to read, but when you have a baby and a husband, you don't get to read a whole lot. So he said husbands don't have anything to do with it, but they do. They like just as much attention as the babies. No, do you hear him? But anyways, so I do that every morning. It's just like 30 minutes, but I like podcasts or audiobooks. Some of the ones I listen to, there's one, I think it's Rich Bitch Podcast by Angie Lee. Is that her name? I think it's Angie Lee. And then there's a Manifestation Babe. I think Shay actually recommended that one to me. That's really good. And GoPro is really good. It's more of an audiobook, but it has so many awesome like tips on network marketing and like your thoughts on direct sales and network marketing, and it kind of just like changes your mindset of business. It's so good. It like kind of takes your mind from being that like newbie to being a professional at what you're doing, like being a professional network marketer. Because if you don't know the ins and outs of your business, and if you're not treating this business like a business, you're not a professional. Like you're not a professional network marketer. So it kind of teaches you how to take your business from like a newbie to like making it a business. And then Zig Ziglar's a really good one to listen to, and Jim Rohn's a really good one to listen to. Those are like my favorite ones that I like try to listen to every morning.
Okay, how do you seal a deal with distributors and then seal a deal with customers?
Oh yes, we're talking about sealing a deal. Sorry, off topic. So loyal customers, I usually, of course, I message like, I try to message at least like 75 people a day. But honestly, I've learned that like, I have the same conversations now that I had when I first started. Like, well, actually probably not when I first started, but once I kind of got the groove of like what I was doing. But the more simple you keep things, the better off you're going to be. Don't answer questions that aren't asked. So you don't want to overwhelm people. So I just make sure if they say how much, if it's say Thermify, it's $65 retail, but with my 90-day challenge, I'll give you my 40% discount. It's only $39. $39 a month. How does that sound? Then they'll usually say good. They'll say, do I have to use it for 90 days or is it 3 months? And I'm saying, yeah, girl, you'll get one product a month for 3 months. After that, you'll get my discount for life. No minimums. You can order anything you want. That work? And so they just say, oh yeah, sounds good. Just simplicity. You just have to keep things super simple. Don't answer questions that aren't asked. If they say, how much are wraps? Well, wraps do this, 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 and this. They're this much. But if you become a loyal customer, you get this, this, and this, plus perk points. So really that's the better option. Like you don't want to go into all that. Just keep things super simple. I try to literally keep my messages as short as possible. Like to where like literally they're almost like dumb. Like someone has to, like they have to get it. And then I usually say, are you ready to order? Like I always ask a question. Like they have to have something to respond to. So if I just like answer their question without asking a question, then they're like, oh, okay. So I usually say, does that sound good? How does that sound? Does that work for you? Just a question, so they have something to answer back to. And then if they say yes to all of that, I say, okay, awesome. Are you ready to order? I can either, or do you want me to place the order for you, or do you want me to send you directions to do it real quick? So that they know I'm expecting, if I send them directions, I'm expecting them to do it real fast. Or if they send it to me, I can do it myself. So I usually tell them, I can do it right now. I'm at my laptop already. I may not be at my laptop, but I have my phone, so I can do it real quick. And I usually like to get their info, like if they will give it to me, because then I have the power of like getting their order in. But sometimes people aren't comfortable with that, so I just ask. And then usually if you ask that question and they're not ready to order, then they'll give you a day to follow up. Like they'll say, well, I get paid Friday, I want to order then. So then you know to write it in your calendar and then follow up with them then. And then sometimes like you have to follow up a few times before you get their order in. Like this girl I ordered today, she ordered the buy 3, get 1 free coffee. And I talked to her 3 different times. And the first time I talked to her was in November of 2016. So it's been almost 2 years and she just now ordered. But so it just takes consistency and keeping things super, super simple. As for distributors, I kind of have the same thing with distributors. I try really hard when I'm talking to potentials, I want them talking to me about their why. I want them talking to me about why they want this business. Like I get them talking about them rather than talking about me. I try to see how long I can keep the conversation going without talking about myself because I want to know about them. And so whenever they feel like you've really like wanted to get to know them, you've taken the time to get to know them, they kind of, and you get them talking, they're like, oh, like sometimes they don't realize what they want until they say it out loud. So sometimes they're like, well, it'd be nice to have an extra income so I can take my kids to Disney World. Like they may not have really known that that's what this business could do for them, but when they said it out loud, they're like, okay, we're gonna go to Disney World. Like, just saying it out loud has such an effect on people. And then also whenever they're talking to me and they're telling me a little bit about themselves, like if they have kids, if they go to school, if they're married, where they live, I put it in my notes section of like their contact. So if you have an iPhone, you can put their like name in, and then it'll have a note section under it. And I'll usually put, mom, lives in Oklahoma, has 3 kids, wants to spend more time with their kiddos or whatever they tell me, like their why. So when I go follow up with them, I usually save their like name, have like a green heart, and it'll be like PDT. So I know it's a potential, so that when I go just through my phone to follow up with potential distributors, I know who I'm talking to. So like I could say, hey, I don't know. Hey, Ashley, I have 2 more spots left on my team. I was wondering if you're ready to earn extra income with me. We have $7,500 in bonuses you can earn. I know you wanted to earn an extra income for your kiddos. Like, how are your 3 kids doing? Like, I knew all of that because I saved the information in my phone. And so they really like, so then also too, if they text you and like, sometimes you talk to so many people, they get like mixed up in the jumble. So if you have that stuff saved to your notes, if someone texts you like, hey girl, I'm ready to sign up, or hey girl, I'm ready to join you, you can go back and like remember, like kind of jogs your memory on like who you were talking to so that you remember them. And just them feeling like they're going to be a part of something and that you truly like wanted to get to know them really has an effect on them. And I think makes them feel like they want to join, because most of the time it's not just the money. Like if they're moms or college kids, sometimes they just want to be a part of something. It's not just the money. Sometimes they just want friends. Like a lot of moms are like, I need something outside of being a mom. I need something outside of being a wife. Like I need something that's for me. And so that's what I kind of explain to people, like with me and Ryan. You see a lot of people that like work their business together, like Jocelyn and Taylor, a lot of people work, Cassie and her husband, like Nayar and her boyfriend. A lot of people work their businesses together and their husbands work it with them. Me and Ryan have never been that way. Like he barely even knows what a loyal customer is. But like that just works for us because I'm a wife and I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, like I'm all of these things, and with it works. That's something I have for me. So it's kind of something I get to hold sacred that's like just for me and like nobody else. And so yes, the income is for like our family and it does so much for us, but Ryan doesn't work the business. And when people are like, oh, does that bother you? And I'm like, no. Like he would drive me crazy if he was trying to help me message people, but he's not. He's a very introvert person. But like it just works for us, me working my business, him doing his thing. And I kind of feel like it's just something I have for myself. And so figuring out people's whys and figure out what they want out of this business, and whether, like that really just like helps you seal the deal with them because you've kind of gotten to know them on a different level.
Yes, that's so true, because I know when I talk to potential distributors and we're having that conversation, I'm kind of learning about them. I'm always just like, oh my gosh, like I love this business. It's so amazing. And I keep the conversation really exciting. Um, so like when I'm talking to them and I'm like, hey, okay, so the business, we make money in this like 4 different ways or whatever. And then they're like, yeah, like that's great or whatever. They always just say yeah, or they're like super short because they want you to give them the information, but I also don't vomit on them either. I'm like, okay, we make money in 4 different ways. We make wrap cash, we do this, 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 and this, and it's super short. And then, I mean, all of y'all have the same script because I send it in the newbie chat all the time. So, and then they're like, okay, that sounds great. Then I'm like, okay, we can get you signed up for $99. And then 9 times out of 10, they're either going to ghost you at that point. That leads me to the next question. They're going to ghost you because they don't have $99 and they don't want to tell you that, or they thought it was free. A lot of people think that. I'm like, okay, that doesn't even make sense. Or they're going to ghost you just because they're scared and they don't really know. So that's why I call in the elephant in the room and I'm like, hey, because normally if they don't respond within like an hour, I always go back and check back with them. And I'm like, hey, like I know you're scared and I know that $99 is scary to put into something that you're not sure if you're going to make it back. But I was in the exact same boat a year and a half ago, and I'm ready to do this with you. When you pull out the personal card and you're like, hey, I was there. I didn't have the money. I mean, even when I say pull the whole, I didn't even pay to join. My dad paid for me to join. Like, people see that you're not some crazy unicorn. That's amazing. They see like the real person in you, and that's your goal. Like, these people are joining a business with you. They're not signing up as a customer for 3 months. This is like a lifelong, life-changing thing. And it's important to make them feel important. So kind of how Kortney was talking about, how you put the ball in their court. Like, what is your why? Why are you struggling? Why do you need the money? So that when you do follow up with them, every follow-up I ever send is like, hey, I know you're scared. I know you're skeptical. And I know you don't want to put $99 into this because people either don't have the money or they're terrified to take the leap into this. So it's your job to be that like good distributor that's like, okay, I'm here for you, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then like asking them, you know, because also like people just want to feel like you care, you know, so getting to know them and stuff, like, and getting to know like why they want this business and stuff, it gives you a way to relate to them. You know, like she said, you know, it's like, oh, I didn't have $99 either, or like I was struggling, you know, you get to relate to them. Or like when people say, you know, oh, I'm just too busy for this. I'm like, girl, I was working 50 hours a week. I was going to school 18 hours at Oklahoma State, and I was planning my wedding. I get busy, but like busy people get things done. Like people want to feel like you relate to them, you know, and a lot of the time, like it's just something as simple as people wanting to fill up their gas tank. Like college girls, like college kids and stuff. Like what college girl or kid doesn't want to fill up their gas tank without having to put, $20 here, $25 there, $20 here, like, or being able to go to the grocery store and just buy groceries without having to live off ramen noodles. You know, like a college kid like doesn't want those things. And so, or you know, a mom, oh, I'm just too busy, you know, I have a baby and I just don't think I could do it. I'm like, I have a 20-month-old that's almost 2. Like, I totally get it. He didn't sleep for the first 3 months of his life, but, you know, but like now I
relate to them. Like, and even though I'm in college, I have a lot of moms that are on my team that I was able to say, you know what, I may not have a kid, but I do know so many people on my team that do that too. So even if you're a brand new distributor and you're on this Zoom and you don't have like necessarily a story or a success story, even when it comes to making life posts, y'all, you know people in this business that are successful with this, you know other stories, and you also know that even though I'm a college student, I'm a different kind of busy, I know what it's like to be busy. So it doesn't matter if they're a mom busy, if they're a full-time job busy, it's all the same busy because it's something else occupying your time. So relate to them. Like, you're a human being and you know how to relate to people. So if you feel like you struggle with having talks with distributors, you don't. Just be a human being and open up with them and be personal because you know they're scared. You know they don't have the money. Oh, you are so cute. And you know that you can relate to them no matter what.
She goes, oh, you're so cute. Oh my God.
But yeah, so I just think if you just open up and just be nice and be caring and know that like you're a friend to them, that will be a world of difference rather than just following scripts, because I know it's kind of scary to get away from those, but it's also just being personal. And I did post a follow-up in here or like just a seal the deal kind of thing in here too in the chat.
And also if you're new, like just remember like there's something really cool about being new and not having any idea what you're doing. Like, just be honest with people. I remember when I first joined, Kristen was one of the first distributors to join me. And I remember people being like, it's so funny that my responses, I'm like, I can't believe I even said that. But then like that there's $1,000 Ruby bonus going on. And I remember people being like, some of the people that I knew, like they were like, tell me like, what do you do? I'm like, I really have no idea. I'm like, but I'm going to get $1,000 bonus at the end of the month. Like, do you want to earn one too? Like, I was just pumped. Like, it was just ignorance on fire. Like, I was just so excited, and that excitement, like, just went, they were excited because I was excited. And it's just like when you're like giving a speech or you're like listening to a speaker and they're doing this, like you catch yourself like, yeah, like it's like, okay, like, you get yourself nodding. And so it's just like when you assume the sale, you assume they're going to join and you're pumped, like they can't help but be excited. Like if I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, like I'm going to earn $1,000 bonus this month, like you could earn it too. And that you can't be like, they couldn't just be like, no, I don't think I want to do it. Like they're going to be excited because you're excited. Like it's really hard to be dull when someone's like so pumped up, like in your face. So you just have to be excited and know like what you have your hands on. And there are going to be people that there's always going to be people that are going to be naysayers and are going to be negative, and we've all experienced it. But just remember that they don't pay your bills. Like if someone's negative or has something negative to say about it, ask them what bill they want to pay that month, or say, well, rent's due on the 1st. Like, which do you want to go pay it? Like, because I'm doing this for my family. I'm not doing it for the opinions of others. And most of the people that ever had anything negative to say about it, they're still working for corporate America. They're still making less than I do. And they're still grapping about their full-time jobs and how much they hate it, and dreading Mondays and waiting for Fridays.
Or they're in your inbox 3 years later asking to join your team.
Yes. And so that's like the awesome thing is people are going to want to join you. You just have to stay the course and know that these people are going to come.
Yes. And that, sorry, I just chunked that at you. So that was one thing I did want to touch on is nobody understands being mocked or made fun of or not taken seriously more than I do. And I know that I've been wanting to talk about this on a Zoom, like face-to-face with people, is you don't even know what I had to deal with in high school, because high school is filled with a bunch of assholes, okay? And it was awful, awful. And I'm really thankful that I'm a pretty strong-willed person, because if I would have quit, none of y'all would be on this Zoom right now. So I'm telling you right now that people will always have something to say about what you do, no matter what you're doing. And it is so important to understand that those people will never pay your bills. Those people will never, ever, ever walk up to you and be like, hey, I would really like to pay your electricity bill. You have to do it. They're not ever going to be able to do it. So I just want you to understand, like, people are always going to have something to say about you. And here I am a year and a half later doing something that they all told me I couldn't do. And I got made fun of. I got mocked. I got, like, literally just even people joking about it hurt my feelings. But I never, ever let it stop me. And I almost used that as, like, a complete, like, motivator, because I knew one day I was going to be successful with this. And I was going to be able to be like, look at me now. And I know that it's really hard to deal with that sometimes. And I know that it's really, really frustrating when even like people in your family or friends that you thought were really close to you go straight to social media and they're like, oh my gosh, another person joined network marketing. And I think Kortney fell off on accident because, oh no, she's still in here. Yeah, you're good. And so I just wanted to touch on that and just let y'all know that, like, if you need to vent about it, or if you need to rant about it, or if you're feeling upset or you feel like it's restricting you from working your business, don't let them prove you right. Like, don't quit working your business because someone else has made fun of you about what you're doing, because if you quit, that's what they wanted. That's exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, and you're giving them the power.
Yeah, and to this day, people still make fun of what I do, but they don't do it to my face, because what are you going to make fun of? They post about it works as a whole on Twitter and social media, and especially people from my high school still. I'm like, okay, you still work at the same resort I worked out 2 years ago. Like, please. But they've never paid my bills. They don't even understand what I'm doing. They're either jealous because they would love to do something like this because they're sitting at their desk making fun of me, but none of them make fun of me directly anymore.
Yeah, so. And they never ask how your business is going because they don't want to hear that it's going good. And so they don't ask because they also know, like, how awesome it's going, and that they don't want to, like, it's just a jealousy thing too. Like, they wish they could do it and they don't have the guts to do it. And so they're just going to dog on you for chasing after your dreams and stepping out of your comfort zones. So it's much easier to mock someone that's chasing after their dreams than it is to just chase after your own and mind your own freaking business. Like, that's just how it is. And I have never really cared what people thought. I'm kind of like, I'll just prove them wrong. Like, whatever. Like, I've had tons of people, family, friends, like, unfollow me, block me, and then they want to talk to me face to face. But I was also a brat. Like, when people would unfollow me on Instagram, I'd go delete them off Facebook. And I'm like, God, you don't want to see my Instagram post, you don't get to see my Facebook post. So usually I block them.
best friend from high school has deleted me off of all social media, and we don't talk anymore. Literally, because she said my post annoyed her. And
I'm like, good.
She knew my family situation. She knew everything before, and she left. And I don't care. I mean, obviously it hurt my feelings. I'm not going to act like I'm some 10-man robot. But what I do know is that this business has provided for me in more ways than anything would have ever been able to do. I'm debt-free. I literally just promoted a triple diamond in a year and a half. And y'all, that's a whole nother Zoom that we get to talk about and go over, because started from the bottom, literally hit rock bottom a couple times in between. And I'm here, and like, do not ever let them stop you from doing what you're doing. Do not ever let their opinions stop you from promoting, because how ridiculous would that be to sit there and let someone's opinion keep you from earning a $1,000 bonus or a $5,000 bonus that would completely change your life.
And I promise the friendships that you make with this business will outlast and be stronger friendships than the ones you thought you had before this business. I remember asking Ryan, because I mean, girls are girls. Like, I mean, I had girlfriends, but like, and I still have girlfriends, but like, I remember asking Ryan, I'm like, did I even have friends before I joined this business? Because everybody that I talk to every single day are with this business. And it's not even people on my team. Like, I talk to some people that aren't even on my team. Like Shay, she's not even on my team, and I talk to her at least 3 or 4 times a week. You know, and people that are like sidelines that aren't even under Jade or under Ashley or under Kortney that I talk to daily. And I asked Ryan, I'm like, did I even have friends before I joined this business? And he was like, not any worth having. Like, you have to surround yourself by people that inspire you, and like people that want the same things and have the same vision, and that know where you're going and that want to get there too. Like, you have to be like, you have to hang out with like the people that you want to be like. Like they always say, like, you know, like, what is it like? Is it show me your friends and I'll show you your future? Like, if you're hanging out with people that have no goals, no dreams, that are broke and not doing anything with their lives, that's exactly what you're going to do. Like, you're not going to go take financial advice from broke people. Like, you're just not. So you have to hang out with people and stay plugged in with people that get it and that are chasing after, it doesn't even have to be just with this business, but people that are chasing after things that they want, chasing after their dreams, that want more for themselves and that know their worth. Like, there's just something so powerful about really, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. You know, like, I'd rather have 4 really awesome friends that helped me push my boundaries, you know, help me become a better version of myself, rather than people that are constantly complaining and constantly talking about people and constantly talking trash. And like, there's just like, you're going to find yourself so much more at peace and happy when you surround yourself by people that just get it and that are doers and that are chasing after their dreams and stuff, rather than hanging around people that are talking negative, downgrading what you're doing. You know, like, you're not going to go take marriage advice from someone that's divorced. Like, so just watch who you surround yourself with, and know successful people follow successful people. Like, success leaves clues. So be willing to learn from successful people and be willing to put in the effort that those successful people put in, because you're not going to get there by chance. You're not going to get there by accident. You're not going to get there by someone building you, because anything that's easy and anything that happens like super fast, not using me as an example, but I'm just saying, like, anything you get that you didn't have to work for is going to crumble. Like, it's going to fall apart and you're going to lose it. You have to have skin in the game, and you have to know, like, you have to, I guess, like, look back and know, like, you had sweat and tears in the game, so that at the end of the day, it was worth it. Like, I know Shay, when she promotes, like, at the end of the day, she's like, I need a drink. I need like a bubble bath. Like, I need to not talk to anybody for like a week. You know, like, you're just so mentally drained. And at the end of the month, when you're promoting, you should feel that exhausted. Like, you put everything you had into that. Like, because then when you see that rank change and you see your paycheck, you're like, I worked my ass off for that. You know, you have to have blood, sweat, and tears for it to really like be worth it to you.
And going into that, the last question that we had was just, or not really a question, it's a question from me. What are like with everyone promoting, obviously, with these bonuses, like, what are your best tips, like, keeping it simple and sweet of getting to a rank? Because I definitely did
do it, guys. Like, you have to do it. Like, you have to, like, okay, I just get so excited talking about like promotions and like when he's offering bonuses, because I will never forget like the feelings I had when Mark was announcing bonuses. Like, every month I was promoting. And it was just like, I was would think to myself, like, what if I don't get that bonus? Like I have to have that bonus. Like, I need that bonus. And so I worked my ass off every single day until it happened. But I would decide on the first that that's what I was going to do. So I would write down, I would just get my chart out. On the back, I would number like how many distributors I needed. So like whether it was 10, like 1 through 10. So if I signed a distributor, if my team signed a distributor, whatever it was, I wrote the names down so that I knew when all my boxes were full. So then I tried to get those boxes filled as soon as possible. Like I wanted those boxes filled as quickly at the beginning of the month as I could. And then the rest of the month we worked on volume. Everyone knew exactly where they were moving volume. Everyone knew how much volume was needed, you know, where, like, you have to have a game plan. If you don't have a roadmap, you don't have, like, I guess a road or a goal, like, you're never going to get there. Like, you have to have strategy. Like, you have to know exactly what you're doing and be very precise with all of your moves. Because, like I said, these promotions, they don't happen by accident. But, like, literally, Mark would announce, you know, go double, like, or $15,000, go triple, it was like $25,000, and then presidential was $50,000. And within 4 months, I earned $100,000 in bonuses. And I'm like, I look back and I'm like, I have no idea. Like, it was just a very crazy 4 months. But I just remember working every single day of the month. I didn't ever take a day off. And I was putting in the effort every single day. And it wasn't like, oh, I don't feel very good today, I don't have time today. It was like an addiction. Like, I had momentum, and it was like I couldn't go to sleep till I knew every order was in, that like every person was taught to, every conversation was over, you know, because I couldn't sleep feeling like something was undone. So you just have to want it. You have to want it, and you have to be willing to put in the work to get it. Because if it was easy, everybody would be diamonds. Everybody would be double diamonds. Everybody would be triple diamonds, and everybody would be making $25,000, $30,000 a month. It's not easy. But it takes work, but anybody can do it as long as you have the strategy, you have the want, you have the drive to do it. So my biggest tip is just figuring out what you want and making it happen. Like, no excuses, no complaining, nothing about like how it's not coming, like not going fast enough, it's not coming together. When I went presidential and Kristen went triple, the last week of July in 2015, Kristen needed 13,000 in volume to go triple, and we made it happen. 13,000 in volume, and we made it happen. And it was never, I remember never feeling like it wasn't going to happen. Like, I never felt like that promotion wasn't going to happen. Like, it was going to happen. So we just worked and worked and worked. Like, I never allowed myself to feel negative. I never allowed myself to I never had an inch of doubt, like, that it was going to happen. I just did it. Like, I just made it happen. So you just have to be willing to put in the work and decide now and figure out exactly what you need, down to the number. Like, you need to know exactly where volume fits best on 400 boxes and work on getting those boxes marked off as fast as you can.
Yeah. I remember, like, when just pushing for triple, like, I wasn't even charted for triple diamond until the 15th of the month, and I got so flustered that I couldn't get it done fast enough, but I knew that it was still going to be fine. And throughout the rest of those weeks, like, I got blocked from texting, like texting, iMessage, that's the thing, I didn't know, blocked for 7 days from texting. So I was like, okay, you know what, that's fine, move on. And I literally was going through, like, my Instagram messages. I was following up with people through Instagram. Like, when you're doing something good in your life, it's going to feel like the devil is out to get you, because every single thing will go wrong. Something will happen in your life that's like, your boyfriend breaks up with you, or like something detrimental that seems like the whole world is over when you're doing something good. And it seemed like every person was telling me no. Every person was like blocking me, or like they were saying no, like, good luck on your promotion though. And I'm like, no, but like, I need you to sign up for me to reach my promotion. That's the issue. Like, it's just, I was getting so flustered, but I also knew that that was going to happen because I set my mind to do it. So what happens the most that I see all the time is that people shout out the promotion, and they're like, on the first day of the month, they're like, I'm going Ruby, I'm going to earn that $1,000 bonus. And the moment it gets hard, they quit. They give up because it's like too far out of reach. Do you think earning a $1,000 bonus or a $5,000 bonus is going to be easy? If it was, everyone would do it. But the reason that bonus is set into play is to keep you motivated. So if you get out there and you set out with this goal in the first of the month to go Ruby, and then a week later, you get discouraged because you haven't enrolled the customer yet and you give up, you still have 3 more weeks of the month to get that done. Like, there's no reason for all of these things to discourage you from a goal that's so huge. Like, being told no is never going to stop. Like, you're always going to be told no for the rest of the time you're in this business. You have to keep find the yeses, and you're always going to get people that ghost you and people that tell you, oh, I'm going to sign up on Friday, and they don't sign up. You, like, literally 1/3, I don't say that to discourage you, but probably 1/3 of those people will not even text you back ever again. But that's how you find new people all the time. And the moment I start dwelling on all the potentials I have in my phone is the moment that I do, like, get in my mindset to where I'm like, oh crap, like this, I'm frustrated. Like, I'm really, like, not feeling it right now. The moment I start finding new conversations and I'm messaging new people and saying, forget about those old potentials, when I'm finding those new people and getting those new conversations, I am so excited because I'm talking to people that are really excited in that moment. They really do want to lose weight or they want to grow their hair out. And I feel so pumped about what I'm doing. So, and then it seems like those potentials that I stopped working on start coming back to me because my posting and the way that I'm talking and the way that you start running your business, the whole vibe completely changes. Like, I can't even stress that enough. It just seems like the moment you stop focusing on people telling you no or focusing on those 10 potentials that you have that aren't signing up and finding new people, everything falls into place. And I cannot, like, I mean, that's like stuff I can't control, but I just think it's so crazy when you do set out a goal and rather than getting discouraged when things aren't going your way, being positive and finding new directions and new paths to go to get to that rank, because it's not going to be easy. But I promise you, when you see those commission checks, it will be worth it.
Oh, for sure. And like, you never ever, like, so many people do this and it drives me crazy. And I try to explain like why I think this way. You can never determine your month's success off the first week of the month, because honestly, the first week of the month is always the slowest, especially for me, because people pay rent on the first. You know, people have a lot of bills coming out the first. Yes, they get paid on the first, but rent's due on the first. There's so much stuff coming out on the first. So if you can get past the first week of the month, after the 7th, usually things pick up. So things are way, like always for me, things are way busier after the 7th. I mean, I work my business that first week of the month, but I also know I don't get as many results the first week of the month because of rent and bills and stuff being due on the first. Because a lot of people, when they have rent or their kids are in daycare or different things, like all those bills are due on the first. And so if they, usually their second paycheck that they get in the middle of the month is usually like a better time for them. So usually if I get to the 7th, I get a lot more momentum after the 7th through the rest of the month. So never determine your success and your rank and your promotion by that first week of the month, because if you give up after that 7 days, you're missing out on where the momentum happens during the month, because it kind of goes like this and then it goes like this. Like, you're going to get so much more momentum the second half of the month. And I don't know about y'all, but that's just how it is for me, and that's what I've noticed. And so once my team kind of started paying attention to that, they don't get as discouraged the first week of the month just because of how that just goes for us. And so usually the second half of the month is way busier. So you just have – mindset is just so big. Like, when I'm dwelling on – oh, I've talked to this many people and no one signed up. No one's signing up. No one wants to be a customer. No one wants to be a distributor. I've talked to 10 people and no one signed up. But as soon as I get that one loyal customer, it's like a boost of confidence, and all of a sudden 5 come, 10 come, 15 come. And then if I sign one distributor, all of a sudden I've signed 5. It's like, it just feels like
negative, you're focusing on the positive thing.
Yeah, so it's just a mindset. Once you feel like people want this and you're excited and people are enrolling, like, they just start coming to you. They like, it's like a magnet, you know, or it's like a domino effect. Like, you just can't dwell on what's not happening and focus on what is happening, and you're going to see your business completely turn around.
Yes. So y'all have every single thing that you need to be successful in this business and to promote. I give you everything that I was given by my leader. I give y'all every tip and trick that I have that, like, I'm successful with. I wouldn't tell y'all to do things that I wouldn't already do. And same with Kortney. She does the same things I do. And that's just something you're going to have to just put into place to make these promotions happen. And I'm so excited to watch everyone promote and earn these bonuses, because y'all, it is insane. And y'all need to take advantage of these, like, because y'all all started and these promotions were in play, but it's not always like that. So take advantage of what you have.
And you have, like, y'all's team right now, I just wish y'all could understand, like, me watching y'all, and I'm just so excited for y'all, because y'all's team, it's not Shay having momentum, it's her team having momentum. Like, Shay didn't reach triple diamond by herself. You know, she didn't do it alone. Like, the really cool thing about this business, guys, is when we're successful, we bring our team with us. We're not successful unless we have people under us that are successful. And so it's a team effort, and y'all's team, not just Shay, but y'all's team has so much momentum right now. You have to run with it. Stop. It just drives me crazy. Stop making excuses. Stop talking about why you're not working your business. Like, we have a chat with some of like Kristen's leaders, and I literally want to pull my hair out every time someone says, sorry, I've been MIA. What do we need to do this week? Or my goal is this. Sorry, the next person, sorry, I've been kind of MIA. Why have you been MIA? Like, if I hear one more person say I've been MIA, like, why? Where have you been? Like, what are you doing? I've been busy. We're all busy. We all have things going on. We all have lives. You know, we might just be going through different seasons in our lives, whether you're a college student, whether you have finals, whether you're a mom, whether you're pregnant, whether you're married, whether you have a needy boyfriend. Like, everyone is going through something. Everyone is dealing with something that is important to them. But yet, the people that are successful and the people that make that $15,000 paychecks and the $20,000 paychecks and the 30,000 plus paychecks are the ones that set aside business for business and treat this like a business and keep their personal lives personal. Like, even though we can do all of these things on our own time and we have the freedom to do them from anywhere we want, you still have to treat your business like a business and take personal things out of it. Because a lot of the times, if you work for corporate America, you can't take all of your personal issues to work with you, especially if you're in some kind of customer service job. Like, you can't take your personal issues to work with you and cry all day or talk about how much you hate your boyfriend or you're getting a divorce or your kids were doing this. Like, you can't go to work with all this stuff and talk about it. And so you have to be willing to set aside your personal issues and still work your business, because regardless of what's going on in your life, no matter what, you're always going to need money. You're always going to need an income. The world revolves around money and an income. I'm not saying money is everything, but I'm saying you have to know, like, you still have to pay your bills. You still have to put food on the table. You still have to do all of these things, and you have to treat your It Works business exactly like a business. And yes, like, life's going to happen, but you have to just set that aside too and not use those things as excuses not to work your business, because we're all going through things and we all have different seasons in our lives. But the people that are successful are the ones that can separate their personal lives from their business. I just need to say that.
So true. So thank you so much for doing this. We're
So
all
dear.
so excited, and I can't wait to watch these promotions happen. And if y'all ever need anything, y'all always can reach out to me, especially on Facebook.
She's so cute.
I know. She's like in love with you like we all are. So.
Ow.
But I'm excited to see all these promotions happen, and I will talk to y'all later. So yeah, we all talk about you in our team chat, because I'm like, I love you.
Y'all made me feel good about my.
Everyone say thank you. We love you, and
I love you. Good luck. I'm ready to see y'all's promotions.
Bye.
Bye, girl.